Well, after 4 concerts in the last 4 days, I'm back home. It's been a very, very busy 4 days, 5 days, something like that. I saw Iron Maiden concerts 3 of those days. The other one was Cardiel. I have many things to talk about. First one, I'm gonna say I met a lot of people over these last few days at the concert. A lot of people were very friendly to me. You said hello. You asked me for pictures. We talked about different things. Some people asked me about my Instagram. I've only mentioned this once. It was in the video yesterday, which wasn't very good, which is kind of the reason why I want to do this again. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's Danbowski Mexico. There's going to be a lot of crap you're not going to care about. It's not an Iron Maiden channel or anything like that. This video is mostly about Iron Maiden. But a lot of people ask, Danbowski Mexico. Now, the reason I'm doing this video is because two people asked me, two people made comments on YouTube. I can't remember. I have a few notes here. Their names, it feels so weird saying online names, to say them verbally, to say them out loud. But one guy, DL does gaming, and 1973 War Machine. You asked for this, I'm going to give it to you. So they both asked about what shirts I bought, if I could show them, post pictures or something. So I'll do this video. DL does or goes, I can't remember your name, sorry, gaming. He commented on my video I did last night, which was not the best one I did. I did it in the rain, in the big crowd. It was dark, and it wasn't the best one I did. Let me go check my notes again. Yeah, so a couple of things I want to talk about doing these merch videos. They're a little bit hard, and I'm not saying that I'm flying a rocket to outer space or anything like that, but it's a little bit, maybe a little bit more difficult than you might think. I have to, first of all, hold the camera and talk and think about what I talk about. I have to kind of watch where I'm going so I don't trip or bump into people or fall down a hole or something like that. All while I'm talking and showing things, trying to look in the camera to show something interesting, trying to think of something interesting to say, and also people coming up to me and talking to me, and I see people and we kind of make eye contact, and I know they're coming to say hello, which is fine, but it does distract me. So yeah, last night, all of that, plus it was raining, plus there were thousands of people last night. It wasn't the best. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the Iron Maiden concerts, the 3 concerts I went to, before I get to the shirts and the stuff I bought. I said this last night, and I'll try to articulate it a little bit better. About Iron Maiden, you could make the argument, again, as I said, for being the best metal band ever. The best band, I don't know. They've never had, now I didn't like Iron Maiden, honestly, in the 90s. If you watched before, I got into Iron Maiden in 82. I would say my top 3 bands ever in my life are Kiss. I got into Kiss in 1975. Iron Maiden in 1982. I was into AC/DC and Van Halen and Black Sabbath around 1980, so they were earlier, but they didn't stick as much. I still love them, but they didn't stick as much as Iron Maiden did, and Kiss, well, not so much these last 10 years or so. But Iron Maiden is a big band for me. All those other bands I mentioned, they kind of had low periods, and Iron Maiden has had low periods too. Through most of the 90s, as most people probably know, Iron Maiden was, it's amazing how high they were and how low they went. And you know, they're one of the biggest bands in the world now. They just played to 23,000 a night for 3 nights here in Mexico City. They're I guess playing sold out shows in South America this week and next week. They just did the States. I guess all those shows were either sold out or huge crowds. They play in Europe, and you know, in the mid to late 90s, they were nothing. They were playing clubs and like small theaters. But so for all those, and through the Blaze Bayley years, which were not very good, kind of the reason why they took such a dive. The Blaze Bayley years were not the best, but what I'm saying about Iron Maiden is they've never had like an off, you know, you can say, oh, I saw the band on this tour. They weren't that good that tour, or This band used to be good, but the guitarist is sloppy now. Where a lot of people talk about Metallica, that Lars is a sloppy drummer, Kirk is a sloppy guitarist, Hetfield doesn't have the power he had, and things like that. Or you hear about bands mailing it in or going through the motions. Iron Maiden has been great every tour. I think you never hear anybody talk about Iron Maiden saying, they were okay, but they're not as good as they were 20 years ago or even 5 years ago. So that's what you can say about Iron Maiden. There's no surprise with Iron Maiden. They're going to be great every time. And about the production at these shows, when I saw Book of Souls 3.5 years ago, I said, wow, they've always been good as players and singers. They've always been good. The production though in Book of Souls I thought was the best out of all of them. This year was even better. Every song had something visual to look at, not just the songs, but the stage looked beautiful, which the first night I was at the very, very side, even behind the stage. I couldn't see anything. I could see the band playing, which was cool, and I actually really got into it on the first night. And then the second night, I was straight on like this, right in the middle, although at the very back. And it was very visual. I was almost distracted by how good it looks. I wasn't into the music as much as I want because I was just looking at everything. Everything looked beautiful. So, music, and everybody talks about set lists. And going back to what I said a few minutes ago about Maiden having these periods, when they did the Matter of Life and Death tour in 2006, they did that full album, and that album was not, I don't know about that album, but that tour was not very well received because they did the full album, and it wasn't, it's not their most revered album. It's not Power Slave or Number of the Beast, but, so a lot of people didn't like that, but they still played great. Anyway, again, about the shows the other night, the sound, everybody talks about sound at concerts now. People didn't, used to go to a concert and that was the end of it. And now people like to talk about sound. I thought the sound was great. Often these arena or stadium shows, they're not very loud. I guess the sound kind of gets lost. It moves around, it gets lost, but it was really, really loud, but also very clear. It was a little bit, not muddy, but maybe unclear during some of the instrumental parts. Everything kind of came together, but when all the guitar solos, when all three of them were, when Yannick and Dave and Adrian, when all three of them, or at any time when any of the three of them were playing, I could hear it as if they were standing in front of me in my living room, which is right here, just playing through a little amp. The guitar solo sounded perfectly clear. The drums were thunderous, especially the Where Eagles Dare, the second song. The drums were just pounding. The vocals were clear the whole night. The vocals sounded really good and all really loud, so that was good. Again, going back, speaking of Yannick Gers, a lot of people don't like his prancing and jumping and all the things he does. I don't care. I guess if you don't like it, you can not look at him. But I think he's great. Everybody complains about bands that don't have energy, and Yannick Gers has lots of energy, and so I like Yannick. So if you don't like him, don't look at him. Go. There's lots of other people, and people complain about Iron Maiden having 3 guitarists. How can you complain about having too many guitarists in a rock band or a metal band? I noticed also something last night. I don't think I noticed in the first 2 nights. I noticed some keyboards in a couple of songs. I think For the Greater Good of God, and I don't know if it was Revelations or a song, Klansman or Sign of the Cross, but I heard some keyboards, which I remember in Book of Souls you could hear too, but I don't care. I'm just pointing it out that I didn't notice them the other 2 nights. I don't know if they have somebody playing them backstage or if they're pre-recorded, but I could hear some keys just as like background music. It wasn't like it wasn't a keyboard solo or anything like that. The crowd, I have a lot of friends who, American and Canadian, who they see I talk about this with them, and I talk about the crowds in Mexico. Just the best. The crowds in Mexico. If you see videos of Iron Maiden or any band playing in the States, the crowd is more or less kind of just I guess some are better than others. In Mexico, during Iron Maiden, everybody knows they play Doctor Doctor by UFO before they come on. The crowd on the floor, the whole crowd was just jumping up and down and going crazy just for the sound coming over the PA with all the lights on. And it was like that all 3 nights. And I remember when I've seen them before, I comment on that. So just the fans are crazy. They sing all the songs, not just the choruses, not just the hits, but they know all the songs. I was watching people around me, and there was a girl beside me. She looked like she was about 25. And I was kind of looking at her like this. She was singing the whole words to "For the Greater Good of God," which is not one of their most popular songs. I think this is the first time they've done it on this tour since 2006 or 2007 or something. So she was singing, she knew every word "For the Greater Good of God." Let me check the notes. Was there anything else? No, I think that was about it. Just a quick thing before I show the shirts. There's my first ticket from the first Iron Maiden concert I ever saw, November 30th, 1984. With I don't know if I can't see myself on my phone, but I don't know if you can see that. But that's Twisted Sister opening for Iron Maiden on the Power Slave, the World Slavery Tour, November 30th, 1984, in Toronto at Maple Leaf Gardens. Ticket price was $17.50, and a lot of people will say that's wow. Can you believe it was $17.50? $17.50 was not cheap back then. It was probably relative to what it is today. So that was my first of 11 Iron Maiden concerts. I'm not going to show you all the tickets, but there's that one. This is my third concert ever. First one was Ozzy on Bark the Moon tour earlier in 1984, and then Scorpions on Love at First Sting tour in the summer of '84. Iron Maiden, Power Slave, and there were two great albums that came from those tours: the Scorpions Worldwide Live and Live After Death, which I consider Live After Death my second favorite live album ever. And speaking of that, a lot of people ask me also when they talk to me during these three shows what were some of my favorite Iron Maiden songs or albums. It's hard to pick a favorite album by any band if they have a big enough catalog. And then imagine people have, the conversation of your favorite album ever. And it's hard you can't even consider your favorite song ever by any band of all the thousands of songs that anybody's ever heard in their life. How can you pick one? But I can do it, I think. If I had to pick one song out of all the history of recorded music, the moral of the story is what to do or what not to do. I'm trying to quote the Live After Death version. If your bird shits on you, the rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, for me, is I think the greatest song I've ever heard by any band. I could do a whole video on why, but we'll leave it at that. Other favorites also, Aces High is up there in my top 5, and Power Slave, the song, top 5. Moonchild is probably up there too, and then I don't know, maybe Number of the Beast or 22 Acacia Avenue, Heaven Can Wait. Those are some of my really, really top favorites, but Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner is number 1. And since I mentioned Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner and Power Slave, the song, and Aces High, of course my favorite song is Power Slave. Favorite album, sorry, is Power Slave. Power Slave is probably in my top 10 albums of all time, although my top 10 of all time is probably about 20 albums. So anyway, going to the notes next. All right, I can show you the shirts now. This is the official event shirt. This was 450 pesos, and it's really cool. I don't know how close I have to get because again I can't see myself. I hope it's centered. It's a Dia de Muertos theme with Eddie as a mariachi. It's got the Catedral Metropolitana behind it. It's got all the Dia de Muertos skulls, including, if you can see, Eddie as the Power Slave Dia de Muertos skull, and a cool touch, the little the Dia de Muertos flowers in the logo. I don't know if you can see or not, but that was pretty cool. Now, going back to the argument for bootlegs versus official shirt, I don't know if this is going to show or not, but I got back to my hotel after I bought this at 300% more than the bootleg shirts. I don't know if you can see, but the print on the back is crooked. It's lopsided. So you pay 300% more, and as I've argued before, price and official does not mean quality. Next one, I got this one. This is a quick one. A guy on Instagram sent me a message. Nice guy, asked if he could buy me. He saw this shirt in my bootleg merch tour from the first night, and he really liked it. So he asked me if I could pick it up for him. A guy called Moises in Oakland, California. So I got that for him. I'll send that out for him this week. And another one. This is another one that's a gift. This is also. These are all bootlegs unless otherwise noted. Here's the Aztec Eddie. This is for a friend of mine called Chris McClernand, who played in a, not to name drop, he played in a great band in the 90s called Saigon Kick. One of my favorite bands, favorite 90s bands for sure, maybe number one. Go listen to Saigon Kick, especially Devil in the Details and the Water albums. But he had asked me months and months ago for I was going to El Chopo. If you know about El Chopo, you can watch my other videos. It's a heavy metal flea market on Saturdays in Mexico City. It's been around since 1980. And I was going there a couple of months ago, and 6 months ago, maybe more, and he asked me if I could get him an Aztec Eddie shirt, and there were none, but they had them last night, so that's for Chris. That'll be going out in the mail this week. All right, now the other ones that I got last night, or not last night, but on this tour on the 3 nights. I love this one. It's hard to find white Iron Maiden shirts, or especially ones that I like, but I really like this. I saw a girl wearing this at the first show on Friday, and it caught my eye, and I thought she had got it somewhere else, and then a couple of minutes later I saw it in a stand, and over the course of the 3 nights I saw a lot of people wearing this shirt. I love it. I love the little bit of an abstraction. I love the colors. I love the white shirt. It really caught my eye, so I bought it. Next one, also from this that is brand new. I love this shirt. Love it, love it, love it. As I just said about white. This was amazing. I've never seen this before. I went to El Chopo, the place I was just talking about, the metal flea market on Saturday. And this was the day after the first concert. And believe me, if they had these at the bootleg stands at the show, I would have seen it. Nobody had these. And I went to El Chopo. They had it. Almost the first stand I saw when I walked in had it. I love it. Again, I love the that it's white. I love the colors. It's a great shirt. I love this. And so this was really cool. This was at El Chopo. I love it. Fantastic shirt from the World Slavery Tour. I'm very happy to have this shirt. All right, next. This one I got on, again, a bootleg I got on the Book of Souls tour in 2016, February 2016. It's the Aces High. Again, I got this one because it's green. I like anything other than black. Black is it's too much. And I love Aces High. I love this artwork. Cool shirt, Aces High. Old shirt, old design, but from the Book of Souls tour. Another one, I used to, not as much anymore, but I used to really like the ones with a Mexican theme. And you can see this is from the Made in England tour in 2013. And it's got Eddie, but instead of the Union Jack, he's got the Mexican flag. And again, great colors. It's very, very bright, colorful, and white, so I like it. Ghost and Slayer opened that show, or that tour. That was a really good one. That might have been my favorite tour. I like that one a lot. Another one, bootleg from Book of Souls tour. Book of Souls as an album had some of the best Iron Maiden artwork ever. It was really good. This was on the inside of the album sleeve. I bought the deluxe edition of that CD. That was really cool, so I got that one. And there's the back. But that's really cool. To me, that should have been the album cover. To me, they dropped the ball having what do I know? They're one of the most successful rock bands ever, and I'm standing here in my studio apartment. But yeah, on the album cover, it was just Eddie's head with just a black background. But anyway, that one's cool. They're all cool. That's why I bought them. Going back, as I mentioned, my second favorite live album ever, Iron Maiden, Live After Death. I don't know why I said Iron Maiden, but Live After Death. I love that album, and I like the artwork, and I love the shirt. I also got that one on the Book of Souls tour. So again, an old print, but from a more recent tour. Continuing with the Book of Souls theme, I got this one. This one's really cool. This is a unique Mexican design, Eddie with like an Azteca motif. And I like the Iron Maiden logo in the white outline, which all these Book of Souls shirts had. So there's that in the back. Last one, I think, from, again, I bought a lot there. The Book of Souls, again, this is from the inside of the album cover of Book of Souls. With Eddie with the heart. I should have had a drink. I'm starting to get thirsty. This one, this is official. I don't know why I bought this one. I mean, it's just Killers. It's the normal one. I don't know why I bought this official, because again, it was probably, this was from 2009 on the Somewhere Back in Time tour. They played here in Mexico City twice. They played in 2008 and then came back a year later. And it's just Killers. And it's just, I mean, I don't know why I bought this one official, but now something interesting about this for all the people that want to argue that official is high quality. If you can see this tag, this is a brand of shirt called Yazbek, which is a very common brand of these t-shirts in Mexico. And a lot of the bootlegs that you're going to see are going to be Yazbek, and this Iron Maiden is Yazbek. So for all the people who think that official means you're getting a better shirt, not true. You're getting the identical shirt. And in some cases, the printing is even better on the bootlegs than on the official. There's nothing special about this shirt. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, but there's nothing special about it. And it's official, but it's made in Mexico. They're all made locally, so don't fool yourself. Another one, I like this one. I got this on the Final Frontier tour in 2011. Very simple. Red and white. It's got the Salvador Dali devil from The Number of the Beast, of course. Just very simple shirt. And on the back, The Number of the Beast. Simple. I like it. A couple more. This was also from the, no, this one, what was this? This was from Made in England. Yes, Made in England. This is official. This is the official event shirt from Made in England. This is also a Yazbek. You can see that the tag is ripped off, but it's a Yazbek. Don't ask me, but I know. And Yazbek shirts are heavier. They're really thick, which I don't necessarily like. But it's Eddie with the. I guess it looks like Tula. There's an archaeological site called Tula de Allende, and it's got these things called Atlantes, which I think that's what it is. And there's the Made in England. Again, that was a good tour. And, before I show the last one, there was one official one I didn't have. When I saw them in Mexico City in 2008, I bought the official event shirt. That was a cool one. It was, if anybody knows, and if you're an Iron Maiden fan and you're watching this, of course you know it. The Stranger in a Strange Land artwork, it was that, but with Eddie with a sombrero and a poncho, and it was really cool. It had the Iron Maiden logo in yellow. I gave that away. I gave that to my friend of mine. I bought it extra large. I'm down to a medium now. This is a medium. I've lost some weight or some size over the years, and I was buying extra large back then, and I gave it to a friend of mine. I think he was here, a friend from Toronto. He was visiting in 2011. I gave it to him then because it was just too big for me. And another thing with that, the print, that was an official one. And again, the print, the whole front print, instead of being centered, it was off to the side, which again is a terrible argument for again, the people that think you're getting a better quality product if you're buying official. That's not true. So I wish I had that shirt though. It was cool. Not that I wish I didn't have the extra large, but I wish I could get that shirt again. And the last one, this is, again, the official event shirt from Final Frontier, 2011. It's got this is the Maya Eddie. He's at the Chichen Itza there. Pretty cool, good colors. I always like the Mexican themes. And there's the back. Yeah. So that's it. I've run out of things to say. I've run out of shirts to show you. One more time, Danbowski, Mexico, if you want to follow me on Instagram. And thanks to everybody who came and said hello to me over these last 3 nights. Maybe the craziest one. There was a girl. I was sitting there last night on the curb, and somebody tapped me on the shoulder, and I looked up, and it was a girl, and she put her phone in front of my face. Well, that sounds bad. She showed me her phone. And I looked at, and it was a picture of me and her from a Motorhead concert in 2013. I guess she met me. I think she had seen me from my videos even then in 2013, and she took a picture of me with her in 2013. She still has that on her phone. I saw that it was in her gallery, not even on Facebook. So maybe she needs a new phone, or maybe she just moves all her things to another phone. But amazing that I saw this girl and a picture of me and her with from a Motorhead show in 2013. Amazing. So anyway, thank you to everybody for saying hello and for talking and everything. And if you have anything to say, you can leave a comment. I hate saying this. Don't forget to leave a comment down below and like or subscribe and smash the like button and ring the bell and stuff like that. I don't like saying that. So, but if you have a comment or a question, you can leave a comment. I do read all the comments. Maybe I miss some. I think YouTube's system is not the best. Sometimes I maybe miss some, but I do generally read them all. I try to reply when I can, and if your comment is worthy. So if you have any questions, comments, again, it sounds so stupid, but yeah, you can leave a comment and leave it there. And I think that's it. That's all. And listen to the Bunions. That's it. See ya.